welcome back to the channel. Right, excuse my voice being a little bit deeper than it normally is. I went to Romford Dogs last night for the mother-in-law's birthday, and I drank quite a lot of beer, but I won't have time to do it, so I thought I'm going to have to do it this morning. So it's a nice sunny Saturday morning here in England. But anyway, you don't want to know about that. What you want to know about is the 9th vinyl in the DeAgostini Beatles vinyl collection. Love. Now, I bought the CD when it first came out. Was it 2006? I think so. Thought it was good, shocking, surprises all over the place, and it sounded really cool. But honestly, it didn't sort of stand the test of time. I played it about 10 times on CD, and then it just got shelved, you know, unlike other Beatles albums. Now, we had a karaoke, I don't know, a month or so ago now, and while I was setting up the karaoke outside, I put the CD on. You know, it was bright, colourful, first one that came to mind, and I just grabbed it, put it on, and I wasn't paying attention like I'm going to today, but in my peripherals, as I was setting up and talking to people and setting the day up, I was thinking, this is actually quite nice. Shocked me, I was ready to sing bits and then it didn't come in, and then other bits came in, so, but anyway, Stripey's Rambling. Shall I get it out? So there it is. That's nice, isn't it? So, it's a double album, of course. So I've got a fair bit to get through. I don't know what the total running time is. I'm thinking 70-ish minutes. So let's do this and get this vinyl going. Flick through that while I'm listening. Nice. There you go. Apple label. Oh. Moment of truth. Love etched in there. Mint. Love this. Right. I'm going to engulf myself in love. I'll be right back. Do you know what? That was just what I needed to hear this morning. I really enjoyed that. Listening to it when you're not really paying attention, and then sitting down in between your two speakers and listening to it properly, is quite something. Beautiful. I enjoyed that much better than I thought I was going to. I mean, I know I was going to enjoy it. I mean, I love the Beatles. It's the Beatles music, all mixed up, mashed up if you like. And the book had a really nice introduction by George and Giles Martin, and then pretty much it's just like a load of really fab pictures. But quite interesting. And so much work went into it. I couldn't believe it, really. In the booklet that comes with the DeAgostini collection, it says above this really nice picture of George and Giles Martin. When the Beatles' music was first released, fans knew they must always expect the unexpected from the group. The range of musical styles and sounds heard on the disc was startling at the time. In 2006, 36 years after the group had broken up, the arrival of love once again demonstrated the Beatles' desire to make music that was daring and different. Using state-of-the-art digital recording technology, the group's producer, George Martin, and his son Giles had radically remixed the Beatles' original analogue tapes to create a mesmerising mashup. There are 37 titles listed on the album sleeve, but traces of 100 more songs have been stitched into the tracks. And you could hear it. That is so accurate, you know. It's amazing, really. I mean, ultimately, it's not an original Beatles album, so is it in one of the... No. But is it a must-have? I'd say yes. I'd actually say yes. I really, really enjoyed that. I'll go through some of the tracks in a minute. But something I read about that I really didn't know. I mean, this whole project, by chance, come together through something to do with George Harrison and this dance company. I think their name is Cirque du Soleil, which is some sort of physical acrobat type circus act. And the Love is actually, in Vegas, a show to this group. Now, Cirque du Soleil, I'd not even heard of before. But when I searched on Wiki, they're linked at the bottom to the Blue Man Group. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard of the Blue Man Group. They're very visceral, blue faces, mostly drums. But actually, I had the pleasure of seeing them once in London. Blown away is an understatement. So I'm thinking to myself, if these people, Cirque du Soleil, are doing all this acrobats and crazy stuff, and please, Google them, have a little look into it. It looks amazing. Then add this as a soundtrack. I'm sold. I am sold. I'd love to see that. I think it'd be amazing. But it only happened by chance because of George Harrison. Bless him, George. So anyway, let's get on to the tracks. Right. Obviously it starts off with Because, and then and it's like an a cappella. I'm not going to go into every track because honestly, like he said, there's 37 on here, but there's so many other little bits stitched in. I'll put a link because I actually looked up this the website, and it had a couple of YouTube videos on there of George and Giles Martin playing some of the mixes, and you can hear bits and seeing how they're doing it and adding stuff. It's quite something, really, but they're unlisted videos, so please don't share them. It's to do with their website, but I will put a link to that underneath so you can check it out for yourself. Right, so yeah, and then it goes into Get Back, and there's all sorts of things going on, but Get Back's a really good beatly one to get you going. But it's mixing in with Glass Onion, you know, with them, whoa, all them weird, wonderful sounds coming in. Amazing. Then into Eleanor Rigby, and I found the Julia transition. They had a little Julia transition, but you can hear like sirens and that going off, and I felt quite saddened about. Obviously, John's mum's Julia was run over by an off-duty policeman, I think. So it's quite, you know, quite sentimental, quite nice. And then, believe it or not, it goes into I Am the Walrus. And then it goes right back to I Want to Hold Your Hands. And then flips into Drive My Car with What You're Doing. simultaneously. Honestly, I could literally play it again right now to try and absorb it because there was so much going on. And you are hearing different bits all the time, especially if you're quite au fait with a Beatles back catalogue, which, let's be honest, most of us are. And then it's Gnick Nuss, or Sun King backwards. But it actually, track 8. I don't know if you can see that there. GNIKNUS. Backward stuff again. And then it ends with something in the way she moves. And that is beautiful. That is absolutely amazing. Then flipping over to side B, Blue Jay Ray transition as an intro to Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite. And then it's so mixed up. It is a mashup. Oh, and that was another bit I really liked, the Blackbird and Yesterday. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Sorry. Right. So after Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, it goes into I Want You, She's So Heavy, and then Helter Skelter. So it starts getting a little bit crazy. Them two songs are pretty mad, aren't they? And then it goes into Help. Followed beautifully. I thought Blackbird was coming on, you know, that doom, 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 doom. But it fitted perfect with Yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Sounded so nice. And then it goes into Strawberry Fields Forever. Now, again, guys, you probably are a little bit more thorough than I am. Is that on one of the anthologies? It don't sound like a version I've heard before. I mean, obviously I've played this before, but I mean, I'd proper give it a bit of attention today. And I don't know, I was thinking, when I was listening to this, it sounded like a really nice, soft demo. And I thought, imagine being present when John was doing that. If you've got a copy of Love, stick that little bit on there. I know it's hard to do this on this album. You don't do track by track. Not that I do that with many Beatles albums anyway. Not on record anyway. But that version, track 13 it is, Strawberry Fields Forever. Gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. Then it goes into Within You, Without You, which sounded incredible. And then Tomorrow Never Knows. And that's amazing, that is. And into Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And it closes, side B closes with Octopus's Garden, which was a nice close, I thought, for disc 1. Then flipping over to album 2, kicks off with Lady Madonna. Sounds quite different, actually, the beginning of this one, but picks up nicely, then slips into Here Comes the Sun, and then it had the Inner Light transition. Now, these transitions are really quite clever. Then Come Together and Dear Prudence mixed together. Cry Baby Cry transition, which was quite a good one as well, clever. Revolution, and it ended off with Back in the USSR. It would be really good to actually sit down and analyse each track and literally, if you could, pick out every single clip that was in there from other songs. That'd be quite hard work though, I reckon. And then finally, the last side, side D on the album, starts off with While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and this is beautiful. Beautiful version. Then it goes into A Day in the Life. Well, I think it says somewhere in the notes when I was reading it, A Day in the Life is a complete track. There is nothing really they could do to it. It is perfect. But what they did do, the crescendo at the end, they made that a little bit more loud, a little bit more going on, and the note, the last keyboard or piano going down, boom, that seems to go on for a lot longer in this. Then it went to a really nice version of Hey Jude, then sort of a reprise of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and then it ended with All You Need Is Love. But as it's going out, you could hear Good Night. It was beautiful. I actually thought the way it ended was sweet as a nut. So yeah, I'm going to have to play it more to absorb this, because it was literally so much going on. Fantastic though. It is a nice addition. I must admit, I wasn't particularly excited about getting the Love album, but I always knew the packaging was going to be gorgeous, and it does deserve another play. I think, I mean, as we know, Giles Martin remixed the new Sgt. Pepper's, the 50th anniversary edition, and I think he done a pretty amazing job on that. So, God bless his dad, he isn't around anymore, so he seems to be fairly switched on. Who knows what he's going to do with future Beatle albums? This remains to be seen, but now he's got access to all the original analogue tapes. Marvellous. So yeah, my final thoughts on the Beatles Love album is a really nice addition to the vinyl collection. I'm really pleased to own it. It's got a gorgeous spine. I mean, have a look. Right? 2006. Where does that time go? Amazing. So yeah, guys, had a lovely experience with this. Really enjoyed it. And after last night's few beers, this was actually quite the perfect tonic. Still a bit heady, but I think I'll live. So, there you go. Another vinyl plate done. And yeah, number 9 played. Next up is the Beatles' first movie, the soundtrack to it, A Hard Day's Night, which I'm quite looking forward to. And then I do believe it's 62 to 66, yeah, the Red Album. So, yeah, quite looking forward to that one. Wow. It's going to be nice, isn't it? And then the anthologies. I know. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. People that have been commenting, thank you very much. I will be getting back to some of you. Have yourselves a good day. It's my wife's birthday Monday, so I've got to go out this afternoon and go and get her some presents. So have yourselves a good one. I'll be back with another ramble real soon. Take care, guys.